Team.
It's Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team.
We were off on a Monday. We just did Monday Mirages. It's Tuesday, even though it might feel like a Monday to some getting back to work after the holidays. And even though it's a Tuesday, we're not going to forget about our guy, former New York Giant Byron Hunt here. Levack is off today. It's Goz here with you. Brian here with you. Byron, last time we saw you was 2 weeks ago. At that time, the Giants were trying to get into the playoffs. Now they are a playoff team. How does it feel to have Big Blue in the playoffs?
Well, let's say, I'll put it, it's refreshing. It's also a relief. And, you know, hey, it's been a little while, you know, as a former Giant player. And, of course, all the Giant fans out there in 104.5 land in the Albany area are very familiar with the playoffs. And we know what we would like the results to be. I mean, there's no reason, in my opinion, to just go to the playoffs if your intention is not to go all the way. So for all the Giants fans out there, the Giants, of course, have been to the Super Bowl 5 times, have won 4. We don't like to talk about the one that was lost to the Baltimore Ravens, but it does exist. But let's remember, the playoffs is all about one thing. You got to win every game. It's do or die. So, of course, one respect, it's great to get into the playoffs. The other situation is you got to get into the playoffs and you got to win.
Now, Byron, me being a Giants fan as well, we've been looking through, and me and Goz have been talking all afternoon about who the Giants would want to play in the first round. We've thrown out because I'm a big fan of Detroit. They've already beaten Detroit this season. Matthew Stafford is hurt. He's been going off of going to Seattle. What do you think the best matchup for the Giants would be in the first round?
Wow, Dallas Cowboys. I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, if you look at the playoff team, you ask, okay, the Giants have beat Detroit. The Giants are definitely not going to play the Cowboys in the first round because they clinched the first round bye and the division. So, I think the best matchup, I think, yes, they can beat Detroit Lions. Wow, but look at the teams.
Yeah.
You got the Green Bay Packers, you got the Detroit Lions, you got the Seattle Seahawks, and, of course, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, there's a lot of history here with the Giants and those teams. So, I mean, from a psychological standpoint, I think it would be a good idea if you had to put it on paper right now to play in the first round of a team that you have already handled. And that would be probably the Detroit Lions. What do you guys think?
We've been going back and forth. Brian says
baby.
the Lions.
Knows.
I'm going with the Seahawks just because the Seahawks team this season, they're not as good as they've been seasons before, but everyone doesn't go want to play against the fans. Like, when you were playing as a player, Byron, were there times where you went on the road and thought, man, I do not want to play there. Can we avoid playing here at all cost?
Well, I mean, when you go on the road, guys, anything can happen. I mean, there's so many different things, you know, there's all kinds of distractions and things like that. And we know the Giants are going to be on the road to somewhere. Seattle Seahawks, hey, they have one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. So it is not going to be easy on your offense. This is when you go on the road, and this is a situation the New York Giants are in. We've seen them in this wild card situation before. Your defense has to play lights out. And let me tell you guys, if you and me and anybody else out there in New York Giant land listening to me on the radio 104.5, thanks to KDO Burns, if anybody out there thinks that the Giants can go on the road in the playoffs and not play lights out defense and win, you got another thing coming to them. They got to play lights-out defense, and they can't turn the ball over on offense.
Our guy, Byron Hunt, joining us here on the phone lines, 104.5, the team, former New York Giant. Thanks to KDO Burns. And, Byron, they still have a game left in the regular season, but the Giants are in. Going back to your career, were you ever in a spot here where your team had wrapped up a playoff berth, but guys had considered maybe sitting out, taking it easy in practice? What is that week like when a team's already wrapped up the playoffs?
I'll tell you what, I remember our Super Bowl run, and we went into the playoffs on fire. And, you know, that was a great team, a lot. I mean, we had good players up and down. Our attitude was that nobody could beat us. We felt that we were prepared to beat anybody. And, guys, if you look, and the Giants are not in this situation right now, but when we wrapped up that division pretty early, and we went on a run. And, of course, we went on a run, and our offense was scoring 55 points, 30-plus points. I mean, this is not the situation. Our defense, of course, is playing lights out. But this is not the situation the New York Giants are in. They are in a situation where, and if you look at this game that they just played against the Eagles, which the contrast was, the Eagles have been throwing the ball all over the place, and the Giants have been playing a very conservative offense and lights-out defense. The game was just the opposite. The Giants did what the Eagles normally do, and the Eagles did what the Giants normally do. And they, of course, you saw what happened. The Eagles won. The Giants got behind, 14 points. Quick Eli Manning, quick touchdown by Sproles, interception for a touchdown by Eli Manning, and it's 14-0. That is not the New York Giants formula. Philly put the New York Giants formula against the New York Giants, and they prevail. That's what the Giants got to do to win, guys. We're not going to see the offense come out and score 35 points, 40 points. They haven't done it all year. I can't expect them to do it. I think the Giants have to go on the road and play lights-out defense, and they got to play very, very good, solid, no-turnover offense. And, hey, we've seen them do it. So it's not about what we did in '86. This team is not like that. Matter of fact, the two teams that won the Super Bowl are not like that for the New York Giants under Eli Manning. They played lights-out defense and a conservative offense. And when I say conservative, I mean, hey, run the ball, throw the ball when you need to, keep moving the chains, and do not turn the ball over.
So, Byron, going back to that game against the Eagles, you saw Eli Manning throw a couple picks that obviously cost them that victory. You've seen Eli over the past month struggle a little bit. Now, going into the playoffs is a different animal. Do you think that Eli can run this offense and carry the Giants to a few wins and maybe even to a Super Bowl title?
Well, I think Eli Manning can, but what's very important, guys, and we can't overlook this, is that this last game against the Eagles was the first game in about 7 or 8, I'm going to say more than that games, where the Giants got down 14-0. Okay, we saw that early in the season, them doing that, trying to come back from behind. We saw the first game of the season they played against the Cowboys. They got ahead, they stayed ahead, played very aggressive, smothering defense, and they played ahead the whole game. This is the New York Giants formula, guys. It's very simple. Yes, Eli Manning can go on the road and win. Yes, the New York Giants can go on the road and win. But it's going to take the coaching staff. It's going to take the quarterback, the offense, the running back, the defense, defensive backs, linebackers, coaching, everything. Equipment, Eddie Wagner. I'm going to call out Eddie Wagner, the equipment for the New York Giants. Hey, everybody. It's a team effort when you go on the road, guys. Everybody has got to be focused. And Eli Manning, who is the leader of that offense, he cannot make mistakes. They cannot have penalties, offside penalties. Hey, and I guarantee you, this is what's going to happen. The coach knows they're going to go on the road. They're going to have loud music. They're going to have crowd noise. They're going to be anticipating everything that could possibly happen when you go on the road. Everything you could think of as a head coach, you want to try to address it, but you want to stay focused. You want to be able to get touchdowns when you get into the red zone or the green zone, whatever you want to call it. Whenever you get inside the 20, 25-yard line, no field goals, touchdowns. You got to play lights-out defense, and you got to play aggressive, heads-up, no-turnover offense.
Only our guy, Byron Hunt, thanks to Katie O'Burns, will give you the insight, knowing that the equipment manager and the whole team can have an impact. That's why we love him so much. Byron, what are your plans? Because we got you again next Tuesday with us, because we're off again Monday for celebrating the new year. What's your plans for the last week here of 2016?
Wow, guys, I want you to know that 2016, I'm going to tell this to everyone. It has been such a joy to be able to, just enjoy, finally, a winning football season for the New York Football Giants. And yes, a winning season for my brothers, my older brother's team, the New England Patriots. They're back into it. And let me tell you, a New Year's present, even though we won't see it until late or early in February, would be a matchup of the New York Football Giants against the Boston Patriots. How great would that be, guys? How great is it right now? It can happen, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's going to take some tough nose defense and some no-turnover offense to get there. So that's my New Year's deal. I don't know about y'all, but I'll take that right now.
I'll sign up for that, Byron. I'm in.
Brian's in. I got to still think. I got a few more days before I put in my resolutions. Byron, you are the best. Thanks to Katie O'Burns. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, my man. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Thanks, Byron.
All right, and Happy New Year and happy holidays to all the listeners out there. And remember, guys, let's go G-Men.
The perfect way to close there with Byron Hunt, our guy, always bringing the energy, always giving that insight we want to see.